We're live. Shush. Hi.
So the reason we were going to do it this way first is so the image that it's saved wasn't us.
But that's no, you wanted it us first.
I'm telling you, but I'm telling you why. Okay. Hi, everybody. We're here.
Welcome to Mystic Elements News and Views. I'm Lorraine. I'm with my co-host Maven, and communication is key.
We've been sitting here an hour and a half, and we're still late.
2 minutes, but 2 minutes is nothing considering how many times we've been late before. So
we're getting better every week.
I think we did pretty good.
And it's episode what?
It's episode 8. You said 6, but I counted. I actually went back to all the episodes and counted because I'm also working on getting all the episodes on YouTube.
That's right. So we have some exciting things going on in our world. So hello, everyone. Hello, Wyatt. I know Wyatt is all excited. I spent some time with Wyatt today. We love you, Wyatt. And hello, everybody. We were going to do some chitting and chatting right here.
Yes.
So news and exciting things are going on.
So some exciting news. I went away for a week, and we were closed on Sundays, and I got back today, and we've got a practically brand new porch. So all the staff got together, they painted the ceiling, they painted the benches, they painted the railings, stained.
It's very lovely.
Put up curtains and lights, and just it's such a beautiful space now.
It has such an ethereal look to it, and they really worked themselves quite a bit. They took last Sunday we closed, and they did a beautiful job.
Yeah, they worked all day long. It was a lot. It was a big job, and
well, but it was the energy of us all. I mean, I want to tell you, I painted a little bit, but really the younger front house staff made this happen. Go ahead, rub it in. Yes, the under 30 crowd.
We're over 30. We're all under 30.
That's right. I thought maybe you were trying to say something about my age.
No,
I'm the oldest person at Mystic Elements. Just know that. So look, everybody's here. Hi, Walt. Hi, Damien. I guess y'all can hear us, huh? Can I get a heart? Do you like it? Can you hear us? It's nice to see you all. Tonight's topic of discussion is going to be amalgamation of two magics. We are going to be creating a kitchen witch for you that will become a tradition down the road. But we're also taking the idea of using a shrunken head, which is a Native American or an American folk craft, and blending it with the idea of using the German, Norwegian, European idea of making a kitchen witch. And the reason we're doing this is because we're trying to help you come up with ways to create magic in your own life. And because making a kitchen witch is a really great way of creating your own tradition forward and having something magical you made to pass along.
Yeah. And we've never done this before. No, I have not.
I have not done this since Girl Scouts many a moon ago. So
maybe I did.
Girl Scouts.
It might have been in Girl Scouts. Well, brownies. I didn't do Girl Scouts, but I was in brownies, and I think that we did. Or maybe my grandmother. I don't know.
Well, I
suddenly just got like a flashback of doing this.
I remember that I come from Indiana. I was born in southern Indiana near Cincinnati, and there's a place there called Brookville. And Brookville had like Heritage Days. You could show up. It was a long canal that they used to pull the boats down the sides. And there were all kinds of crafts there. You would witness candles being made. And this was one of the things you saw, that I knew people had these in their homes. And it just enchanted me. It is believed that when you put one of these in your home, there's usually a charm that goes along with it. And that charm is written on a piece of paper, so down the road we'll do that. And that protects your kitchen from your pots boiling over, from your food boiling over in your oven, from fire and burnt foods. And it just adds a wonderful magic. And it's nice. And so there are written stories about in the past on the European side of this, of the Norwegian witch.
Norwegian or German
kitchen witch, or they've shown up all over Europe, but those are the two places that most claim it as their original.
That's probably why I may have done it because my family's German,
Hmm.
and where I grew up, there's a lot of German and Italian influence.
There's a lot of German where I grew up too, so
Well,
I
and
agree
we're
with you.
close to Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
We're in West Virginia. I was really close to Pennsylvania, and there's a lot of that.
It's a lot of that
Yeah.
dichotomy there.
Mhm.
So part of this is taking that Norwegian or that the European ideology. You know, all these people came to America and things began to blend together. So we're taking the idea of putting this in your kitchen as a protection, and we're wanting to help you design your own this year. So after we move forward, you're going to have a magical tool that you too could pass on. So what we know in the past, where I was going with that, and I got sidetracked, was that people used to will these to their children, like the oldest born son, when the father and mother passed, would take on the kitchen witch as a heritage and part of their tradition of their family.
Wonderful.
So if you have seen, or if you haven't seen, we recommended you all get Granny Smith apples, and it's only because that's what we've seen other people recommend. It's about the firmness of the apple. So you'll need your apple.
Yep. And unbruised.
Unbruised is
And you
best.
want to also maintain the stem.
True, because the stem is useful in other ways. We have here, Lorraine has a couple because, you know, we have technical difficulties. So she has 2 apple peelers in case one doesn't work. I brought my tried and true from home. We have, you may see these instruments quite often. They
Do you
are
want to
used.
turn the camera on?
You could. Let's do
Okay.
that. We're going to try our new camera. Aren't we fancy smancy? These tools, I'm waiting for that to happen. These tools, you might recognize these are good for pulling crab. We live on the East Coast here, so they're crab picking tools. We have your basic paring knife here to cut our apple. And then we have a couple different tools for carving too. Lorraine, as you know, you might see pumpkin.
That's an orange peeler.
It's an orange peeler. It looks like a pumpkin tool.
Yeah, you have the little thing right here, and you hook it like at the top, and then you just.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, I didn't know. And then we have some different pens. Lorraine has a brown or a red
pencil.
I'm going to get it there. Color pencil. And then we have a regular pencil. And then I have an eyeliner pencil as ways to mark your apple.
You can also use a Sharpie.
You could. There's different ways you could do this. We also have Celtic sea salt tonight, lemon juice, a pan to set our apple peels in and to set our apples. We have clove. You can see that. We have some cloves and allspices, alternatively for eyes. And of course, this is your product. So it's important that it reflects you. So what we're trying to do is make you a magical heirloom. And down the road, we're going to give you ideas about what to stuff the body with to protect. So, and that's one of the things we do want to talk about as you consider this. What do you want her to be? So as we go into this, your intentions really matter. We're going to kind of free flow after this moment. But
so you say what you want her to be.
It could be a guy too. It could have, you know, my tarot cards are gender neutral, so this can also be gender neutral.
Okay.
If you're making a kitchen witch, I'm going to tell you that kitchen witches, which is the term for masculine or feminine. The term warlock is meant for one who betrays. So don't make that mistake. You don't want to make you a kitchen warlock. Correct. So when I say of your intention, you know, it's like, what kind of energy do you want in your kitchen? So this is supposed to protect your kitchen and reflect an energy. So what do you want that to be? Do you want it to be a sweet grandma who's called a what? A babushka?
Babushka?
A babushka?
No, I don't.
So you want kind of like, you know, a sweet grandma. Like
or the Baba.
A Baba Yaga kind
Baba
of.
Yaga.
So they do a lot of times they tie scarves around their head. Maybe you're going to handcraft yourself a witch's hat. This witch will be riding a broom. You might want to handcraft that. You could buy one. Again, it's all about your intention. But is she a protective entity like a grandma who keeps your food always tasting sweet? Is she fierce like a warrior witch? Is she wise like a priestess? And as you begin to formulate that in your mind, then as we move forward in a couple of weeks, when we come back to this, you'll want to have herbs and things to match that. So.
Yep.
Okay, so are you guys ready to get started? What do we got over here?
Oh, so we have Damien on, Alex, James, let's see, Kelly, Mary,
Mary,
Amanda, everybody. Max has joined us now.
And all right, so we're going to get started. And of course, if you join this later, there's other ways you can have your apple catch up to the clothing making part of this moment. So
yeah, we're not going to do the clothing part tonight.
We're just going to do the cutting. So the first thing you're going to want to do is carve out what your top of your apple, not carve out, but we're going to mark. You want to leave some body. So we're going to make a little circle around here so you have something for your apple to sit upon, okay? So you want to make sure you make a mark like this. Then at the top, you have the option of making hair. So get to your idea of where your face is going to be. How does that protrude to you? I kind of like, so my apple, I think this looks like the best mark. And watch out because, you might get that, but we're going to take that away. So one of the things is I want the top of the apple to be some of my hair. So some of the, you can already tell I'm personalizing this. So I'm going to cut out here and make, some little hair marks. And then you can kind of mark that around. Now remember, you're going to wrap most of this up in a scarf or put a witch's hat. So we're going to make what the haircut's going to be. And again, look at my fingers already. I am using, James, I am using an highlighter pencil you gifted me one time. So just so you know. Now we're going to mark our eyes. I'm hoping you can see everybody. Because this is my bangs. You might notice I have some bangs because it's personalizing. I'm going to make my eyes. And the idea is to cut away from it. It's almost in a negative sense. We are going to mark eyes. And how do you want the eyes? Do you want to be fierce and bold or, And then I'm going to make my nose. That's a good job up there. I'm going to make my nose so it has more of a Slavic leaning. So that's the nice thing is you can change it. I'm going to make the nose so I can take it away and it's longer. So I want more of a point on the nose. And then you're going to cut your mouth down. So then you also want to make a mouth. So as you can see, it may be, as you can see this, that my mouth is a little long or is a little far down. So I may have to correct that as I go. But as she shrinks, she'll take on her own look. So it will work out. And again, you may want to use a pencil. And it's up to you if you want to make ears. See over here, you can make ears. And so with the pencil, you probably can't see that on camera. But with the pencil, I'm marking if I'm going to have ears. I don't care if she has ears. I'm going to tie a scarf around her head and make my life easy that way. So, how you doing there, Red?
Pretty good, Red. Nice to see you, Red, again.
I keep looking down to make sure my bra's not showing. I feel like I'm losing my dress already. It happens every show. I'm like, what's going on?
You're not popping out.
I'm not popping out yet.
The girls are not out.
So to start off with, we've kind of, you know what, we probably had to cut our so I lied to y'all. You have to remove your apple peel first. That's right.
I'm doing all this for.
That's right.
Sick.
We made a mistake. You're gonna have to do it again. So I told you this is a work with us kind of moment. Well, now you know what your face is gonna look like. So when you go back in, you know proportions. It all works out for a reason. Don't be so hard on ourselves. We're all going through a lot right now.
I mean, yeah, I was worried about the hair.
Well, you did good.
Doing jagged hair, but
and honestly, you know, as we're doing this, Lorraine and I don't sit around making these all day long. So this is an activity, and we're all learning together. And that's how community grows. You're real creative. Don't say you're not.
I'm no. At least I wasn't creative. I'm creative, but I am not a sculptor.
So I'm going to tell you that I think the makeup pencil was a little risky. So take your lovely peeler now, or take your peeler, And we're going to take away everything we don't want on the
Yes,
apple.
and
We're
make sure
leaving
you leave the bottom part.
because you want it to sit stable.
The bottom part and the top part of the peel stays. Let's see how well this works.
But remember where you want your face. That's going to be important, how the apple looks and retracts as it goes. So what we're really talking about is poppet magic in its own way. And you might hear a lot about poppets where I come from.
So what are puppets?
Well, poppets are an entity that you give a human nature to, or give a kind of a spirit feeling to, that it takes on an energy.
So is it like a, what's the other name? Voodoo doll. You know, movies, they have the figure. And
I'm thinking about that. No, it's not exactly like that. It's,
okay.
But it is.
It's still an energy.
There's a similar energy to that, yes.
Okay.
There's a similar energy to that.
But you're not applying it to a specific person per se, like you would.
No, that's not true either.
No? Okay.
Well, no, like, so a poppet, it can be a lot like that. You know, a poppet works in many ways. There's positive ways to make poppets. There's negative ways. Again, this is up to you. It's not our goal to judge. We will share with you morality ideas that we have, but this is about creating a positive entity that lives in your kitchen and watches over and protects your household. So remember that. Like I said in the beginning, like we both said, intentions matter. When you do any magic, your intention is the most important part. So you may notice I'm going to tactfully wipe that off on my hands. We do have a towel. I remember just about the time you said that. So we have a towel. Matches our tablecloth and everything. We were that organized. So I'm taking that all off there. It's a runaway apple. So y'all doing okay out there? Is everyone? So here we are. We have got our apple down to where we have a little, here I am over here with my bangs on the side with my little witchy girl. And I'm going to cut a little bit of that away. I feel like I've got that a little long down in her face, and I just realized that I need that to be a little less like that. And now it's time. Now we're going to go back. Now that we've learned a thing or two, we're going to mark in our eyes where you want them to be and how do you want them to look. Do you want them big round eyes? Do you want them to have slants? And make your eyes. Cat eyes everything these days, my friends. Eyes speaking.
You're so far ahead of me.
It's okay. I think everybody's taking their pace.
I'm slow at this. Design.
Okay, so and then remember, I want my nose to be kind of long in this, to be a little bit long. That's maybe because I have such a short little nose. But I'm making it long because Slavic and Eastern European witches really had long protruding noses. And then I'm making my lips, and I want her to have, a big smile on her face. I want her to be happy. And as I'm sitting here thinking about my intentions, I want it to be a grandmother who loves her kitchen. I want it to be a grandmother whose energy in this witch blesses the food and gives it good nutrition, but also imbues love in the kitchen. If she's going to hang in my kitchen, I want her to be full of mama love. So I'm going to make my girl smile. I don't feel the need to put ears, but if you did, you want to put them out here, and then we would cut away from them. So as this reduces and shrinks, these features will become more pronounced, and much more prominent. So I'm going to show you now. So we are, Lorraine, look how neat Lorraine is. She's getting all her little peels up in the jar. Here, let me catch up with you. So on the table, we also have some rice. And you can use broken points of a plastic fork, but I would recommend for a magical speaking thing, you stick to items because we're going to use rice to indicate some teeth in the teeth.
The other thing is almonds.
Almonds.
Not the whole almonds, but the
slivers.
Slivers, yes. Almond slivers. That'd be kind of big teeth.
but they would work. So,
Yeah.
it's up to you. So when I say, so you can see here, when I say you want to peel away, you want to leave the outer part there. So use this tool. I'm going to use my tool like this. I'm going to scrape away outside of my lines. So I want to make the eye be more prominent so it kind of sticks out. You're going to maybe make a cut in there to make an eye hole so you can put in, I mean, you could buy baby doll eyes if you wanted. You could get slanted eyes and get a little wild with this if you wanted.
Put stones in there,
Yeah.
like little chip stones.
We had talked about you could use a nice chip, like, if you wanted it to have blue eyes, it could have aquamarine chips, green eyes, you could use peridot. But if your hands get messy, wipe them off, use your cloth. So I'm pulling out my eyes here to make a good spot for my stuff to go in. And now I'm going to take away from around the eye and kind of scraping here, or you can use your knife if whatever feels the best. But either way it goes, when you're said and done, you're going to have pronounced features that, we hope looks like a witch or a grandma. So where you've made lines, like here's between the nose line and the eye line, remove that. Kind of take that apple out. And as you do, be thinking about the energy, not that we want you to be overwhelmed. Think about the energy you're creating. You want to peel down around the face. You want to peel to the back of the neck a bit. Kind of bring it in so it has a head shape. But have fun with this, Put some spiritual intent into it. What would happen? So if you have a kid that's maybe, I have a dear sweet friend here in town, she just had a baby. If you're thinking about someday my son will have this in his kitchen, it will protect him and look over his family or my child. What does that look like to you? How does that feel to you? And think about those things as you work on it. Again, when you do circle, you want to have intention. Would you like to say something?
No.
Anything?
I'm concentrating really hard.
So I've went under the eye a little bit to define the eye. I'm kind of going around and removing apple like you might, so you want the features to pop out and moving around. And remember, you can't go wrong here. You're not going to make a mistake. You're going to make your thing. It's going to be your magic, your sacredness, your spirituality. So just come around the eyes.
Did you do the nose first or the eyes first?
I did the eyes first, and then I'm taking away from around the nose gently.
Okay.
I don't want to take away too much, but I want the nose to pop out. So
you're out of camera.
Yeah, here we are. Can y'all see that? Sorry. So I'm going around the eyes so that the eyes pop out. I've made a hole in the eye so I can put in clove down the road. Or you could go buy eyes at a Michael's or
googly eyes.
Mm-hmm. You could, but
Yeah.
Is that going to have the feel you want? If you wanted
Well,
to
if
be
you
a
want
funny,
something fun,
if you wanted something really funny, that would be
Yeah.
great. Maybe
my grandmother's would have googly eyes.
Well, there you are.
Because especially my grandma Cartwright, she was always cracking jokes. She was the silly one in the family.
My grandma would have scared your butt. Well, that's what I remember. She's kind of scary. She said grandma always played hide and seek, and she would go around like with her fingers. She terrified me, just terrified me. And I'm going to make some slices in the hair here a little bit so it looks like my bangs. If I was really smart, I could put a blue moon. If you don't know, I have a blue moon tattooed on my forehead. It represents the spirituality of my past, but it also represents time spent with magical people I loved. So now I'm down here trying to give this nose a little more definition. So it looks like a long nose, and I'm going to take a little apple. There's not a lot of space here between my lip and the nose on this apple. I hope y'all can see. So how we doing out there, people? You cutting apples?
You know
Max
why?
says,
Oh, let me. Okay.
what's he say?
Wyatt and I have interesting looking kitchen witches. This is lots of fun.
Well, good. So it's going to be interesting watching them shrink too. So the reason why you have, I'm just going to be talking to you. The reason why you have this stem here. So so we're going to have 2 weeks. So if you're new, let's say you watch this video in a week, you can tie like a paper clip or a piece of wire around here and hang it in your oven. Put your oven on its lowest setting and let it dry, or put it in a food processor. Not food processor.
No,
Food dehydrator.
and
Don't put it in a food processor. That would.
you'd have applesauce.
Oh no, Uncle. Oh no, Mr. Bill. Yeah. So
So oven. It didn't mean if your oven. What was it? Under 200. You want to try to have it on the lowest temperature possible. And if your oven doesn't have that low of a setting, what you can do is turn it on, put these in there, and then pop open the door so these don't actually bake, because you don't want them to bake.
No, you just want them to dry. So I'm coming around here and I'm making a little place between the lips, but I'm trying to make some pokey out cheeks. So you want the bigger pieces to stand out. So on this side, I guess you can see this, I'm paring off so I have some cheeks sticking out here. And again, they're going to take on their own look. Who knows? Maybe they'll look just like all of us. So, wouldn't that be funny if they look like us?
Yeah,
well, that's how a puppet should be. Look at you. All of your stuff. Can you tell what side of the table Maven's working on? No, not at all.
You knew I was
Clean
the
as
neat
you
one.
go. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Well, I mean, whoops, there we are. I got purple blush. What's going to happen? Okay.
Walt or Max, give us a heads up if the girls try to come out and play.
Let us know. You think women who were so worried would try to wear less cleavage shirts, but here we are.
Hey, and I decided I'm not one that normally wears black, so I am actually making it an intention to wear black this month.
She is, and I want this
show.
dress from her. So when she's done,
she wants to try to steal it from me, but she can't have it.
I do like this dress. So as you might see, I'm taking a piece out right here. Can you see that? I'm taking a piece out inside the mouth. Let me show you why. So you could technically, let's try that again. So you can put rice in it. Well, it's down the road. When this shrinks a bit, then you can shove rice in the mouth and have teeth if you want. I don't know if I'm going to put teeth in mine, but I'm showing you why we're doing it. So I've made a cut in the mouth. So when this recesses, these lips are going to look, they're going to stick out. So to break the lips, there we go. I'm trying to cut away some of that under the lips so my lips have more protrusion. I've also done that around the eyes, try to take some out so I have cheekbones when they shrink. Whoops, I almost cut my eye off. I did. I almost cut my eye off. Well, we'll just hope that shrinking looks good.
Glue it back on.
So I'm still working around the nose, trying to make it more positive. And so while we're doing this, we also want to talk to you that when we get close to Samhain, which is October 31st, that would put us, that's a Saturday, so, right?
Yes.
So that's the 30th, and that would make us on Thursday would be the 29th. We're going to do a ceremony, a private little ceremony here on how you might celebrate Samhain. We're going to do an ancestors altar. We just want to show you how to celebrate at home. So tonight, part of our commentary to you was that we were going to tell you what you might want to get together for Samhain, to celebrate Samhain at home. So one of the first things we want to tell you is you're going to need some candles.
What color candles?
I recommend you get white, But I would also, if you have some black, red are good for Samhain. It's a Samhain color, but of course, so are all your harvest colors. So put those together. And then the other thing, if you're going to honor your ancestors, we want you to get together pictures of past relatives. Anybody who might have passed this year. Someone, we've lost a lot of people this year with the pandemic and things, whether or not you know someone or not, a lot of people do. So we might want to remember those. Any friends that have crossed over, maybe someone who's passed a few years ago, or ancestors, like we mentioned, that have been, you've been feeling them. You've been really feeling them. Then they would go on there.
And if you don't have a photograph, you can always just write their name on a slip of paper.
You can, or maybe you have an item. Like I have my grandmother's handkerchief that I think was her mother's, and then she embroidered in that small, tiny, cool embroidery all the way around it, and I always use it. I carried it in my wedding when I got married. I had it in my hand, and that always goes on my Samhain altar. And sometimes a picture, sometimes a piece of jewelry she gave me. And she is on my mind this year, as I am too learning to be a grandmother. I have a grandchild, and part of my work is to include some of the things she did, which is not the scary part. But there are ways we incorporate them. So on my altar, and so if you're trying to learn how to walk a closer path, part of what this is about is our ancestors. It's coming to attention, or making noticeable attention paid in your life, taking a moment to honor those who have passed.
And there's also ways to better connect, because as the veil thins, it makes it a lot easier to connect with our loved ones. So this is the perfect time for this. If you're one that has a little bit of difficulty with that, if you've not done it before, but you really want to do that, there's ways, with herbs.
Mugwort tea.
Mugwort tea is a great one.
It helps you when the veils are thin.
I had it all in my head, and I should have written down. There's a lot of really great herbs during this time. I know
rosemary.
Rosemary,
rosemary for memory and remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
So drinking rosemary tea, if you're having a hard time with your memory, that is one way it helps stimulate your memory. But it also helps you remember things that are important. So when the veils are thin, that's where you're going, right? Since I just co-opted your whole comment there.
Yeah, and then the other one is holy basil. Holy basil is for protection. And there's different types of basil. There's the Krishna basil, and I forget what the other type of basil is. But I forget which one they have at the store. I think we have the Krishna basil. So that's also a great.
Boy, doesn't this smell good?
Oh I want to soak this in cinnamon after.
Oh, like so after you shrunk it, soak it in cinnamon?
Just sprinkle it with some cinnamon, or just sprinkle it with some cinnamon while it shrinks up.
So can you guys, I'm trying to show you a little bit here. My eyes are, so also if you're doing this, I like your idea of cinnamon. If you're doing this, then we're going to add some salt. We have some Celtic sea salt. We're going to soak these in for a little bit, and lemon juice to keep them from browning. I'm trying to look up the camera to talk to it. So when you're doing the nose here, you want to carve some nose holes. It gives us a sense of realness here. So put yourself some nose holes in there. Get up in there. You've got some room. You want this little guy to be able to breathe a good sense of your kitchen. And just keep working. So other things about Samhain that we're going to be talking about while we have you all here. We are also going to be talking about the Inquisition next week, I think, aren't we? We're going to talk about the burning times. It's something that's very much so remembered during Samhain. And if you don't know what that is, the Burning Times is when the tribal people of Europe will be set by the Catholic Church. We're not splitting hairs now about all that. We're just saying this thing happened. And a lot of tribal people of Europe were killed for their personal religious spiritual beliefs in due to make way for Catholicism. And so what we want to do is have a moment of remembrance for those who tragically lost their lives during that. So if you would like to participate that, we're going to give you a resource where you can go look on the rosters of all the people who were killed and who were burned at the stake or however their life was lost. And you can represent someone in a small ceremony we're going to do here in remembrance of religious intolerance and of their lives, and to hope that we can help ease the pain of their suffering of their life. So if you'd like to participate in that, you are welcome to be following along. We're going to make some announcements so you can find where to take on the person that you would like to represent, and then we are going to each carry them into the ceremony with us. So we will ask you then to tell us who you're representing. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to have some humble moments of coming to terms with what that might have been like. And it's going to be educational. And it's also going to be, it's important because I have a saying I always say, which is never again the burning time survives as something more than a mantra, for only as long as it's defended by duty. And that's kind of what I mean by that is only as long as we remember to push back against the loss of our religious tolerance in this country or wherever we are, that we fight the burning times returning, where intolerance of our practices make us hated, hunted. In 1997, when I opened Betwixt and Between, people were still burning stakes in people who were taking choices like this in Texas.
Well, I was telling Max that today that several years ago, I brought in a person that was professing is the right word, right term, but was a witch, a practicing witch, and I brought them in to be a practitioner, and it was something new to the store because the store had always, Mystic Elements had always been more new age, and I wanted to bring something in a little different, and I wanted to appeal to more people. And I actually got a lot of backlash whenever I brought this person on, and I probably lost about 10% of my customers.
You see, that's religious discrimination.
Except that, for the 10% of customers that I lost, the number tripled in what I gained.
Yeah, because people are looking for their own, in this country we have amendments. And one of them is that freedom of religion means that all religions are free. And so when you look at the fear induced about practicing, witchcraft is just tribalism in Europe, okay? So if you can imagine that if you can respect Native Americans here, that this is their original peoples. Well, we were the indigenous peoples of Europe. Now, of course, tribes migrated, things happen. We know that the Vikings made it down to Northern Europe. We know that there was lots of migration. But we still, what they believed matters. What my ancestors believed mattered. And I don't think any of us should be shamed for our faith.
No.
So if you don't understand and this makes you nervous, try to educate yourself. It's
absolutely. Yeah, because I spent a lot of time educating myself because I did not grow up with any of this. And you have to let go of that fear. You have to I've learned about so many different cultures, so many different belief systems, and from what I've learned is pretty much we still all want the same thing. We all want to be loved and we all want to be accepted. And you can find that in almost every single religion and culture. And Not all of them, but some of them are just interested in power. But
I'm going to see if I can make your computer slide up so I can see if we have comments. Or is Max the last comment?
Max is the last. We haven't gotten any comments.
Are you having a good time?
So
how's the apple peeling going? How's it working out for y'all? We'd love to hear that.
Oops.
So there's my girl with her long nose.
Mine's kind of alien looking.
That has a little bit of a broad nose. I'm tuning up. So let me hear from you.
Mine's got massive cheeks.
If you're out there watching, how's it going? How you doing?
Max and Wyatt, are you working on your apples?
Walt says, loving it, ladies.
Oh, thank you, Walt.
I hope you're doing well, Damien, because this can be something. Can you imagine, Damien, at your age, and you go on in your life, and let's say 40 years down the road when you're our age, not Lorraine's age, my age, because that would make you about my age. I'm older than Lorraine. Let's just get that out there. Anyway, that if you had a tool like this or something to share, and you can write down, on this night I made my first shrunken head. And there's all kinds of videos out there about really artistic and creative ways to do this. And we also know that they used to carve rutabaga and turnip heads. They didn't have pumpkins. Pumpkin is an American food from the Americas. But they would use those to make little lanterns out of and put candle in and carry them around like, part of the Halloween tradition, Samhain tradition back then, was to protect themselves from scary spirits they thought that moved around.
Oh, Amanda, you're not making yours yet?
Yeah, so if you're not making it now, that's all good.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good idea.
So now hopefully we're helping you with giving you some ideas how to make yours.
So as you see, what I've done is I've carved around and I've carved the back so it has a noggin looking kind of head. It's going to come down. And so, but I want her to look, she's looking more fierce than she is sweet and loving. And try to make her some smile up eye lines.
I'm going to give mine round, hopefully round cheeks.
I just got a notice. It says Mystic Elements is live.
We are?
I've heard that. That's our rumor. So one of the things we want you to, I'm going to put mine down for a minute. One of the things we want you also to know is part of the magic of this is that we're going to be sending you a PDF that's going to go up and will come out before we prepare this next. That will have herbs you could choose to put inside. We're going to create a body for this creature. And in that, we're going to suggest to you that you can add stones. And, a couple stones for good intention, some herbs for good intention. And so as we build this, it becomes a craft, a magical, energetic being that you welcome into your home to provide this magical thing for you. So over time, what kind of herbs would you like in here? I think that's where we were going before. And what kind of stones? So, what stones bring about yummy food and things like that. So that in part is where we're going here. So Lorraine, I hear rumor we're giving something away tonight.
Oh, we haven't even talked about the stones yet.
We haven't.
So, we're talking about, some of the stones that would be really good for this time of year. Definitely need protection. So, of course, black tourmaline. So you can see right here, we've got my personal piece of tourmaline. Doesn't have to be that size. Size does not matter when it comes to stones. And it's all about.
I'm married to Walter 5.
Yeah, I'm sure Walter's his mind went right there. Yeah. So the other one is orange calcite, and What did I say about orange calcite?
Orange
forgot.
calcite brings about.
Yes, brings about loving. Why am I looking up at that camera?
I did the same thing.
Same thing. It's like, you can't see me there.
Whoa.
I forgot we've got that camera on too. Oh my gosh, we're not. This is it's hard for me to talk and
Carve.
and craft at the same time.
Look at her eyes. Sophie's going to tell you. Can you see that? How different the eyes are. Just live a little, my friends. Just live a little. This is going to look like that scary clown with the eyes that spin.
Mine is looking odd. The other thing too is this takes a couple of weeks to dry.
About 2.
So you still have time to tweak it a little bit. It's going to be like next week, you'll still be able to do some little squishing if you need to make some adjustments.
And so, our ancestors never wasted a damn thing. My dad, and he's on my ancestors, he's my dad. He didn't waste anything either, but our ancestors would have saved these apple peels.
Mm-hmm.
So you tonight have the option to save these apple peels, to put them in a Ziploc bag, pop them in your refrigerator, and tomorrow maybe, or when you're ready, put these with some cloves, and maybe you've got some orange peels. You just peeled an orange, and you're starting to see that these things are all seasonal things from in the fall. Allspice,
cinnamon,
and then pop a little mace, a little allspice. You may like mace, spice mace. Yeah, that is some nutmeg. Mace. Yeah, there's mace. You put it in pies.
The only mace that I know is the kind that you spray somebody.
There's this. If you've ever heard of this spice called mace, please jump in. But yeah, and you can put that all in a pot and you turn it on, and that adds this warm, vibrant energy. Every one of these things have their own magical property, and that'll bring a warm, inviting energy into your house and make everybody go, is there an apple pie cooking? And then you'll disappoint them because there's not. But anyway, that's what we know our ancestors did. They wouldn't waste things. So there you can make your house smell fragrant. You can bring that energy into your house. Are you reading stuff?
Yes.
It says, Mama, yours looks like my grandpa, Mania, when she was happy. Aww. Well, she's going to have a nose. Going to have a little bit of a nose.
I'm going to figure out how to make nose holes in mine because it's a tiny little nose.
So how many people are making apples? Some people out there I cut my nose. Almost made a nose accident.
And if you make an accident,
you make an accident. I want this to be full of joy and love. And I want it to hang in my kitchen. And I hope someday that, the people that love me giggle about Mom's kitchen witch. And find value in its creation and the intention I put in it, which is that it protects my house. It makes the food that comes out of it wonderful. I can make a thing too. This girl can cook right here. I don't do a lot of cooking these days because I never thought so late in life I'd be working this hard again. But here we are.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of cooking because I've only got one kid left at home.
And she knows how to buy food out.
She's also vegan,
mm-hmm.
and I'm not. So I don't know how to cook a lot of vegan stuff. I'll eat it, but it's just as far as the cooking it.
I hate them okay. I'm just really a carnivorous person.
Me too.
But we completely understand the spiritual and physical and good reasons why you would be vegan. I used to have a vegan restaurant when I ran Betwixt and Between. We had a vegan.
It's really good.
It is.
Some of the meals are really, really tasty.
Erykah Badu used to come to our restaurant. So over here you might see I'm carving away to make fruit to make the cheekbones stick out. I can't talk. What's that word?
So what do you think?
They're very different.
They are very different.
Can you all see them?
Yeah, like this.
Okay, so there's that part. So now we're going to show you as you do that we use Celtic sea salt as a salt. We have, it says you want a cup of lemon juice. You can have fresh lemon juice or reconstituted lemon juice. And it says a tablespoon, but we have about 2 tablespoons. We're dumping into our, pull it back in here so you can see it, into our lemon juice. I'm going to use my little tool here. I'm going to stir that up. And the reason you put, trying to talk to that camera, the reason you put salt in this is because it helps, one, the lemon juice keeps the onion, the apple
from
let me have a sip of wine.
keeps it from molding,
And
mildewing,
from browning.
and from brown. It keeps it from browning too much. Although you want it kind of brown,
And then
but it'll brown naturally
and then
as it ages.
the salt is supposed to help it
Dry faster.
So if you're getting to this video and you know you're getting close to salmon, we're going to do the second part of this. You can, again, you can set your apple in an oven like we explained earlier. You should have that information by now. And you can catch up to us. But this, once you get done, so for tonight, just for display, I'm going to set mine up here. I'm done. I'm giving it up. This is it. So I'm just going to keep turning so it's good, and then I'm going to take it by my tip top. Now, as you dry this, you have the option to, I'm just going to use a display here of a pencil, like a chopstick. They recommend you sticking a chopstick in. Be careful with that. We could sit it in a cup to dry, or you can just sit it in the oven like we said. You can use a dehydrator. And I'm just going to put my apple here for the time being.
Everything you could do is take a paper clip. Did you say that already?
Mm-hmm. Paper clip or a piece of wire.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. You brought it up actually before. You're the first one to mention it.
Okay.
And then also, when we're done next week, then when we come back, we're going to there's a couple different options, but I'm going to take some gardening wire, like that green, very flimsy wire you can buy for like wrapping plants and things.
Did you put yours in there?
I did. I did mine really good. So pictures in there and get a good twirl, and you want to really get all those parts done. We're going to hook some in so it can come down.
That's
We're going to teach you how to, it is creepy. We're going to teach you how to make the body and how to pull it all together. We'll be putting out patterns for fabric. This is where I want you to really personalize it. We're going to cut out a scarf, or are you going to make a witch's hat? Once you realize how size of this, all of this is up to you. Do you want her wearing a little white shirt? Well, we might take white fabric then. But I'm going to give you patterns. We're going to come up with a witch's looking body. And have something that when you're said and done, you will be proud of hanging in your kitchen as part of a protective magic. And this does come back to being like the evil eye or other practical things you might use, and it is a preventative magic. Nobody told me there was purpose in it. So aren't we giving away one of these calcites tonight?
Yes, we started talking about that, but then we got distracted.
We did. So Michael just snickered.
Is he laughing at us?
I heard him snicker. So that we got distracted.
We've got
calcite's wonderful in your house. First of all, doesn't it remind you of orange pops? When you were kids,
orange dreamsicles.
They're my favorite.
These look so yummy. So we're actually going to give one of these pieces away tonight. And we're going to choose somebody randomly that has commented. Okay. We didn't discuss how we're going to do this. So
that's okay. I thought we could figure it out.
But we're going to
we'll take everybody's names. We're going to put them in a
thing, and then
or we could see how many comments we have and assign a number, how many comments, and then draw the number and blah, blah, blah.
And let's just put the names in a jar.
Okay.
We'll put the names in a jar, and we will pick one.
And
let's do that tomorrow. Okay.
So you have till what time tomorrow? How about 8 p.m. tomorrow night?
8 p.m. tonight? Okay. You want to just do a quick live?
I was going to say for everybody who shares this episode, because we'd love you to share it.
Okay.
But please share it anyway.
And how
And
about if you comment, you get your name in, and if you share it, you get your name in again.
oh, I like how you're thinking.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you get your name in. So yeah, like it. Yeah. So comment, you get your name in the jar, and if you share it, you get your name in again.
And also, though I don't know how this would help you win in the stone any, please go like our YouTube channel.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking of it. Please go like our YouTube channel. So, what time is it? Since your eyes are younger than mine,
8:58.
so we're right there.
Yes.
So we
That
hope
did
you
take a
enjoyed
full
this
hour.
show. We would like to hear some comments about, and again, remember, we'd like you to make recommendations to us of things you'd like to see. In 2 weeks,
Yes.
14 days from today, we will come back to you and we will then make the body. In the meantime, we're going to give you
No. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Because in 2 weeks. Wait a minute. In 2 weeks is going to be our Samhain, though. Isn't it?
No, we have 3 more weeks.
You sure? I'm going to look at the calendar.
We've
real
only
quick.
done 2 Samhain episodes. This is the second Samhain episode, right?
Oh, okay, that's right. We have five Thursdays this month. That's what threw me. Okay, so on the 22nd, yes, because today's the only the 8th, and on the 22nd we will be coming back to this and putting together the body of the witch.
That's right.
And then on the 29th is when we will be doing our Samhain ceremony.
That will involve some of the Inquisition stuff and your ancestor altars. And leading up into that, we're going to have more topics.
And what we'll do next week. It's on the list.
There's a
It's
list.
on the
I'm going to
list
get my
somewhere.
phone out
We'll have
because
to.
we get to be 2 minutes over because I love reading information that my phone's giving me about Mystic Elements live event.
Nice.
I do have, if you'll just sit tight with me, we have a list of what's this show's going to be.
Oh, we'll just announce it. We'll announce
We'll
it.
announce
We'll
it.
put out a Facebook post and an event post about what we're going to be doing next week.
We will. And then, so I think by the Thursday, the first Thursday in November we do will be Samhain proper. So we're just going to be doing lots of Samhain.
Yes.
And so Samhain is probably the most popular of all holidays on the Wheel of the Year.
Yes.
And so it counterbalances Beltane, which is full of creative energy because we're making like that. It's a very sensuous, sexual time where people come together and
It's about planting the seeds.
It's about planting the seeds. And so, and at this time we're talking about lives that have passed and have crossed. So there's a juxtaposition.
It's the end of harvest. It's the light is dimming.
That's right. So very good. Well, we really love coming and doing this for you, and we would like to think y'all are having a good time. And I see Tina King's name over there. Tina King is a viewer of ours.
She will be making.
From Texas, and we just want to say hello, and we know y'all will be celebrating some of these things coming up soon. So for everybody out there watching, we love having you. So these are your responsibilities tonight. What kind of kitchen rich are you making? Make your own touch. Yes. Are you going to share this? So please share the show so you can get your name in the listing twice for this hunka burning love orange calcite. Well, it's a hunk of rock, man.
It is. This is a good size. I've got fairly large hands. Yeah, so you see it in the palm of my hand and see it in the palm of her hand.
See, it's all inside.
Yeah.
So there we are.
A good size. It's about 3 about 3 inches, I think.
And wherever you are right now and everything that's going on in the world around us can be very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Take time for yourself. Attend to your spiritual needs, your metaphysical needs, whatever they are. And be good to one another.
Be kind, be considerate, help others, and be patient.
When you are watching this, Mystic Elements is a metaphysical store found at 4403 Park Avenue in Wilmington,
North Carolina.
But you can also go online at
mysticelements.com
to find our online store and lots of information about stones and other things. And if you'd like to watch videos we've made in the past where there's all kinds of educational stuff, go to our YouTube channel. Please like that channel.
Yes, please like the channel. We'd like to get our numbers up on that.
And
So
so
we can start doing lives on YouTube also.
the Misfits, Mystic Misfits, will be on air Monday evening
7:30.
at 7:30. So
Yes.
set your timer to catch those guys. So
Yeah, we never know what they're going to do.
we don't.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks to full moon. The 31st will be a blue moon, a full moon, and we want to make sure that's really special for you. So mark that down. So, anything else you want to say?
I think we've covered it all. Covered it all.
Just check out Mystic Elements for your salad needs. We have candles and all kinds of lovely things for the season coming up.
And we'll put out a post soon about recommending what new things for your altar,
Candles.
the candles and all of that.
All right, so there we are.
That's funny. You can see my
That's fun.
hands. Just so you can see mine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you all next week. Blessings.
Blessings.